The veil is getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and people are starting to see. Remember, really, it's all about remembering who you are.
I feel like that kind of primed me to say remember where you're from, because there's a part of, I mean, we've talked about this not too much in depth about how I feel that the function of religion is to some extent disempowering, because it's outsourcing divinity where one can look inward to find it. And this transition is so big because now we're going from, I believe in something outside of myself, to help me, to save me, to do this. And I'm waiting to and into an era of actually, if I look within, I know, which is so powerful. Welcome to Permission the Podcast. I'm Dr. T, and this is my sister,
Silvana, and we are two regular people talking about spirituality in our daily lives.
Each week, we're inviting you to the internal conversation. So let's get started.
With your permission.
Hey, welcome back to Permission the Podcast.
Hi.
This week, we're going to be talking about the shift. And really, it was inspired by Neptune for me. Kuya was inspired by Aquarius, your sign. I mean, also, the start of 2026. I feel like things feel different with the start of 2026. I mean, we're far from the start of 26, but still. Do you want to start?
I thought this would be more your episode because you're so into astrology, and I used to be.
Well, it goes with the feeling, though. It goes with the feeling. I feel that 2026 feels very, very different than 2025.
I feel like 2026 has started strong. Like, bam. It's like almost like there's concepts I knew, concepts I understood, and then pow, I'm living it. I'm embodying it. And I'm like, okay, now I really know what I thought I understood. Really, now I'm there.
Okay,
And
let's go into an example here.
2026 has been like the veil is out, fully out.
Wait, how did you experience that?
Okay, well, I'm going to start with a couple, was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
So 2 weeks ago, just so I know I'm being very broad, but here's what happened to me. 2 weeks ago, there was a snowstorm, and we're in Connecticut, and
you are in Connecticut.
I am in Connecticut. Pardon. And so, what? I know you have to say
I'm
something.
I'm just setting the record straight,
like,
man.
I'm in New York, man.
You're in Connecticut, and I'm in New York. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So, my college friend had called me and talked to me about how she was going to be in Connecticut because her daughter had a basketball tournament in Hartford. I'm like about an hour away from Hartford. So I said, okay, when is it? And it was a Saturday. Snow was coming down. And I'm like, you know what? Snow's not going to stop us from getting together. And I had something happen to my car a couple of days prior to that. But not something happened like there was some water coming out of the exhaust pipes, which was normal for condensation because it's so cold. But my son noticed, hey, there's something coming out. And I'm like, oh, it's just water. And I thought it was normal because it was just a couple of drops. Then I parked my car and I saw more kind of like a tiny little puddle. Not terrible, but I was just like, maybe I should find out about my car because I had a feeling. I'm like, something with my car. And so I texted a friend. I'm like, I showed him a picture. Hey, is this safe? Like, is this normal? Obviously, it's cold. And he's like, yeah, that's normal. You can go to Hartford. You can do whatever you want. I'm like, okay. So now I feel like, let's go. Just, go slow, whatever. My house, because I was at the house with the boys, the house is like up a hill, right? And to go to Route 15, I have to go down the hill. Well, they haven't cleaned the streets yet, and it was slushy. So I'm coming out of the driveway. I'm going down. My car starts speeding up, down, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to pump the brakes. It's not working, with the snow, with the slush. I lose control of the car, complete control. There is a car on the other side of the road that's stuck, can go up the hill. And now my car is going straight onto this car. Like we're going to hit face to face. Two things happened. It felt fast and slow at the same time. So I felt like almost like slow motion, like, those action scenes when everything awful is happening and it's just in slow motion. And so I'm holding to the steering wheel and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to hit this car. And my voice says no, or at least I'm having this conversation with myself because I don't know where the time came from, but it's moving in slow motion. I'm going to hit this car. No, bear to the right slowly. So I did, and I missed it by, I don't know how many feet, 3, whatever. Now I'm heading straight to the telephone pole. I'm like, I'm going to hit this pole. No, just bear to the left slightly. So I do it. And as I'm doing that, I'm also about to hit one of the mailboxes on the side. I missed that too. The back of my car almost hit the telephone pole. This is the part that I'm still don't know how I saw it because I saw that as well. Like it was a different camera angle, but I was concentrating in the road and what was in front of me. And so I missed the telephone pole, the mailbox, and I swerved like a snake all the way down the hill until I regained control of the car. Past the stop sign, I regained control. I stopped. I looked at my hands. They were shaking a little bit. My feet were shaking a little bit. Took 2 deep breaths, and the shaking went away. The whole time I felt calm, rolled. Yeah, my adrenaline was like, woo, but I never felt fear. And I actually recorded a message where I was like, because I didn't want to forget anything. And trust me, I'm never going to forget.
Yeah, that sounds really insane.
I recorded a message to myself, like down the block from where it happened. In the message, I was calm. There was laughter while I was saying what happened. There was trust. There was all of these things. I listened to it and I'm like, oh my God. And so I went on to meet my friend in Hartford. I never told her the story because I had to process what had happened. And I felt that I shifted. There was a shift in me. Everything was out of control. There was chaos everywhere. The car was out of control. They didn't plow the snow. The other car was stuck coming towards me, but it was stuck. So I was just about to hit it. So there was chaos all around me. The only thing I had control over was me. And boy, it felt so real. Like I did not feel fear. I felt protected. I felt calm in a way, yet almost like if it was a little exciting. I don't know.
Like alive.
Like, yeah, and this came after talking to one of my friends who also meditates, and he's amazing. His name is Jesse. And I talked to him and I'm like, look, this is what happened to me. And he said, he said, there's all this multiverse or different dimension or different outcomes of what could have happened. And you said, okay, I'm going to hit this. No, I'm not. You grabbed what you wanted from the possibilities you wanted. So basically, I controlled.
You orchestrated it.
My reality. Basically, so it came clear to me after I was done. And I took a couple of breaths and I was in control and I was in peace and almost like it didn't happen to me. It became clear a couple of things. Obviously, I can only control me, nothing else. And the other thing is, it is a video game. And I grabbed what I needed and I said, okay, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I had, in the middle of all that chaos, I found strength. I found control. I was in charge of my reality. And, they say there's no greater other than a new version of yourself. At that stop sign, or when I got control of my car, I met the new version of me. And I had a lot of questions.
No.
I had a lot of questions like, what was that? What was it? What were you trying to teach me? And boy, was that a lesson of you You control your reality. You are in charge. You are in the driver's seat. You can do what you want.
Also, I feel like a question is, what else can you do? Right?
I am
Like,
supernatural. and
you
no,
gotta
and
call them down.
no, and that part of the story that I'm telling, that how did I see outside of my car when I was so focused and what not to hit next? How did I see the tail of my car almost hitting the telephone pole? That part is still unclear. So was I
Well,
out and in of my body, or did I play it out like a movie? Because honestly, I was so disconnected from the event, like, this didn't happen to me.
they say things slow down in traumatic events.
Well, okay, so 3 or 4 versions of myself ago. Remember at my first car, I rolled it over. I lost control of my car and I rolled it over down the hill and I landed on my 4 wheels. I only had time to say one thing: shit, I'm dead. That's the only thought that came to my mind and that I had time to say because it happened so fast. Now, this was happening fast and slow at the same time because time isn't linear, it's an illusion. So I lived it. You know what what I'm saying is, you understand all of these concepts. You're like, oh yeah, this resonates with me. I understand this. I believe this. And then you have an event like me and you're like, oh, I'm there. I'm so there. So
Now you have firsthand experience of it
of
versus
how
having studied it versus having applied it. Now you have firsthand experience.
how you can just choose and control what meaning you give to everything. Also, I'm aware of me being an eternal being. So whether that was the it for my human experience, I knew I was going to continue to be. So not afraid of, death or all kinds of things. It just makes you the new version of me. And so I'm aware of that. I'm aware of, whoa, and all of these things are just happening to me. And you're like, all of this synchronicity, it's bananas right now. So 2026
It
has
started off with
started
a bang.
started off with, yeah, like boom.
I hear that. I mean, okay, so I'll tell you my experience of 2026. I feel like the city hasn't stopped, which is weird because generally the end of, well, mid-December everyone just kind of slows down and everyone is sleepy for all of January until probably the end or beginning of February, but it has not stopped. Nothing has stopped. And granted, whatever, it's the city that never sleeps, but the specific time frame is usually when people slow down or stay in or whatever. But people around me have also identified, yeah, just everything has kept going. Restaurants are still full. People are still running, working, doing this, doing that, and nothing has stopped. And that's kind of been the consensus, at least around me. And that's what I've been experienced as well. I feel like there's a shift that has happened. I guess I could say it like energetic shift. I don't know. I mean, I always feel like January always gives a, new energy feel, there's newness, there's freshness. So, okay, it's the start of a new year. We're going to start doing new things and stuff like that. This feels a little different. I don't know.
I concur. I mean, just the way my year started with that, nothing major. And not just that, I feel, let's put it this way. I have gifts and those gifts are intensifying. Or at least I'm unleashing them in ways that are like, well, just the other, I told you about I was spent time with my friend and we were talking and I saw her aura for about 40 minutes on and off, for the most part on. And it was amazing. I could see the uh, hairline things of light coming out of her, like almost with movement. And that was like, so I can do things like this. What else can I do? And you're saying like, okay, what else can you do? Like, I have surrender and to the universe, and I trust that everything that's meant for me is coming. Just I'm trusting, and I am, boy, am I experiencing all of these things. And 2026 has started with like a woohoo, like, whoa.
I feel like my meditations have deepened.
Nice.
Yeah, like I'm going into it a bit more actively. Like I'm actually feeling myself going into active imagination for what I want in the future. And that has been game changer. Also, I have been working on what we've talked about privately, which is trust, right? Trust that all the things that are meant for me will come for me and will not miss me. I've been saying that a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I listened to something, I don't know, I don't know
Listen to
where.
a million things. Yeah, I know.
Where the chick was saying to her higher self, use me. It was Deborah Silverman, the astrologer on Chestapin, talking to Emilio Ortiz, and she was saying, to her higher self, she has this mantra that she does, which is use me to do your will, higher self. And I've been kind of introducing that as well.
I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah. I'm the avenue. I'm the vessel for you.
Yeah.
May your will be done. And that kind of perfectly aligns with the age of Aquarius, because we're in this massive transition time of ending the era of Pisces, which is, I believe, which is why Catholicism, Christianity, the symbol of Christianity is a fish, Pisces, I believe. And we're moving into the era of
information, spirituality, awakening.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Why do we care about Aquarius?
I am Aquarius.
Funny you should say my mother's Aquarius.
Yeah, mom is Aquarius. I am Aquarius. Yeah, we're so different in many ways, and alike in many ways. She is also quite gifted with her intuition and quite gifted with what she sees. And I am as well. I have those gifts, and I have since I was little. But now that I'm embracing all of these gifts, and I'm just give me more, send me more. Like I am thirsty for more, and what else I can do. You just earlier asked me, what else can you do? And I'm like, I'm limitless. I'm abundant. I'm pure love.
Unlimited. Okay, so we're going from I believe to I know.
No.
And that's not, and it's potentially not now. But we're transitioning.
Exactly. We're at the overlap right now, and there's a transition, and information is available. People are believing the stuff. There's evidence. There's scientific evidence about even the work that Joe Dispenza does is backed by science, right? When before there was like, this is all nonsense. You say meditation, and it was like, you're crazy,
Right.
And so now the veil is getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and people are starting to remember. Really, it's all about remembering who you are.
I feel like that kind of primed me to say, remember where you're from. Because there's a part of, we've talked about this not too much in depth about how I feel that the function of religion is to some extent disempowering, because it's outsourcing divinity where one can look inward to find it. And this transition is so big because now we're going from, I believe in something outside of myself, to help me, to save me, to do this. And I'm waiting into an era of, actually, if I look within, I know, which is so powerful.
Right. And it's amazing, because when you're doubting something, if you just sit quietly in a place and you breathe and just ask yourself, You know your instinct, your intuition, and this is part of being, in the era of Aquarius where it's a knowing, understanding, feeling that, listening to your intuition and acting on it, which I feel like I started that last year. The whole, my voice says something, I'm following it and I'm trusting it.
I've actually been having a lot more congruence and synchronicities that have been interesting. So I'll give you an example, just like a really small one, because I'm usually noticed, like I'm really aware of things. So I was walking to the gym and I was actually texting the old owner of the gym, and he was talking to me about how he ordered my book. And
Nice.
yeah, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much for supporting me." And we were talking, and then I walk into the gym, and a guy that usually doesn't talk to me uh, goes and says, "Hey, this weird thing? I had a dream last night, and uh, the old box owner was that he was coming back to teach." And I was like, "That's so weird. I was just texting him, but we don't talk about him. I don't talk to him." So it was one of
Yeah.
those things where it stood out so much. It would be almost like if all of a sudden the same person came up twice, but you haven't heard from that person in a whole bunch of time, right?
Or when you think of someone and they call you and those kind of things, like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a really small thing, right? But once it starts increasing, you notice,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So there are those things that have been happening and I've been aware. And it just feels there's something about this year that feels very different. Like things are shifting already. There's a lot more movement. Okay, I will say that Neptune is finally leaving Pisces after 14 fucking years. So Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. I think I'm saying that right. And Neptune went into Pisces in March 2011. And what Neptune does is it's the ruler of dream world land illusions. It creates a fog, it creates a dream-like perception. And it's been exalted in Pisces, which is same, right? It's the dreamer. It's the old man that knows everything and is super chill. So it's like the same kind of energy on top of the same energy. And what is great about this shift, it almost in a very kind of small way mirrors a bigger shift. So even looking at the shift from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, this is kind of a little shift that, not little because 14 years isn't a small amount of time. It's just not 2000 plus years, which is the age of Pisces was over 2000 years, right? So that's what I mean when a smaller scale, given that the age of Pisces lasted over 2000 years. So Neptune leaving is a big shift because it's going into Aries. So Neptune was in this like, oh, fog, dreamy illusion. What's real? What's not real? What's fake news? What's real news? And now we're going into
It's real.
now we're going into, hey, no one's going to come for us and save us. We gotta now, with the experience of anxiety, we gotta now take action, because Aries is about fire. Aries is about doing. Aries is about taking action. Aries is about doing and asking for permission later.
Ooh, I like that.
So
Meaning like where we're heading for sure.
yeah, I mean, it's
The
big.
action. And and I'm not, this is separate, but when it comes to action, doing daily steps to with action to achieve what you want, but also if it's not the right thing, then you can just shift that as well. Take your steps, take action.
I feel like we're taking big action too. I think we've been taking big actions, no?
For sure.
And now we're heading into a time that is more oriented to doing versus thinking about it or contemplating or gathering information or this or that. It's more of a active user experience.
Yeah. Talking about doing, let's talk about Thursday, your book launch. I mean, it was something that was done, it was there, and then boom, you did it. You launched it, and it was amazing. I was really proud of you. It was a very amazing moment to also be surprised and be called to speak in public. Thank you.
You didn't know that was going to happen?
Not till I got there. And I'm like, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, that's
no,
awesome.
I did not know. And so what I said,
I didn't know either. It wasn't my idea.
What I said, it all came out natural.
That was awesome. I definitely thought you were prepared for that.
I feel like, and you know this from the speeches I made, and they're like, come truly from my heart.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably the most amazing speeches I've done, and no rehearse, no writing, no papers or anything. And that would include Paola's wedding speech.
I know, you just freestyle.
I got up there and like, give me the mic. I had the whole crowd going,
Notorious
laughing.
B.I.G. over here.
C-U-Y, Victoria.
C-U-Y.
So, and so when she told me, okay, we're surprising Tere, you're going to speak. And I'm like, really? Okay.
Nice.
So there was no time for me to overthink, or do anything. I was just like, okay, fine. And it happened quite at the beginning of the event. So definitely had no time to know that I want to. I was there to listen to you, to hear you, and support you. And it was quite amazing to see the turnout.
What? The turnout was
It was amazing. It was, Jackie
that was
showed
fire.
Up.
My God, Jackie for the win.
So Jackie's the person that helped me find my voice in front of a microphone.
Yeah, I always think
was
about
our
Jackie.
Speech coach, and also one of the first people I've seen the aura. She was probably the second person I saw the aura, but with her it was more intense. Then now it's gone beyond that, but with my friend Nati. But I saw
she was
her.
the first one that saw like us as a dyad for this podcast.
I know. And she's like, I can't wait for your podcast to come out. I can't wait to listen. And she listens, which is amazing. So she'll hear us talk about her. Also, who's one of our big fans too, and that listens to every podcast we do? Our friend Mercedes from college.
Meche? No way.
So here's a shout out to Meche.
Hey, Meche.
She's like, oh, and she's
we
like,
love you.
She's like, oh, because she said, I listened to your podcast. My nickname in college was the voice of wisdom.
What?
So they used to call me that. Yeah, you were always the voice of wisdom, and now I hear you and, talk about manifesting and all of these things. Thank you, Meche.
Wow.
And keep listening.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Meche, all the love.
Yeah. I didn't know she was like, I'm like, what? You listen? I didn't know. Thank you.
That's
and
awesome.
I appreciate people that I start saying things to them. They're like, I know, I listen to your podcast. Thank you to all of those people.
I know. Okay, Carker and Smith. My whole box showed up. All of them.
All the CrossFit people
my entire CrossFit community
and how
showed
did I
up.
know? There was a whole bunch of muscles there. Like I was like, look at those arms. Okay, look at those legs. And then I'm like, whoa, she CrossFits. And so I'm like, who is not from CrossFit here?
There were like 5 people not from CrossFit. Jackie, Denise.
10 probably. Oh, we're not CrossFitters. But yeah, Denise showed up. That was amazing. She's a woman we met at the retreat at the Dr. Joe Dispenza. She's hilarious.
Isn't she great? She's so amazing.
Her voice is just, it's something.
So it was my CrossFit people and Handsome Hank. Did you see him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a really big milestone. I was so overwhelmed with emotion.
That you started crying at the end of the event, like
I
crying,
started
crying.
crying,
And
like really crying.
I know, but yesterday, remember, yesterday I went to dinner, then I met a friend, and I mean, like, it was full of synchronicities too. I went to dinner with my friend. I met my friend Nati, waitresses at this restaurant in Westport, and she's told the people that she works with about me. How I move energy, how she calls me her Reiki, that I do Reiki on her. And she says that I meditate and all this stuff. She talks about me to her friends, and she's like, you know what? This woman in the kitchen wants to meet you. This other lady who's Peruvian wants to meet you. And then they came and met me, and they were so amazing. One of the ladies was like, hey, told my friend, your friend feels warm, like she's radiating heat. And Nati felt it too. And later after that, I went to meet people at a salsa place, and a friend of mine also said, hey, do you have a fever? You feel warm. And I'm like, no, I don't. And I don't feel hot or anything. I was radiating all of these heat, and we looked it up in chat. And what did chat said today? That I was
That you were, that it was inner warmth.
inner warmth, and that
Yeah.
in a spirit level or energy, people can read it and sense it, and it has nothing to do with actual temperature or body heat, but they sense it that way. So I'm there with openness, open heart, and creating this feeling of comfort and support to other people. And I'm like, wow, yes, that's 2026 for me in a nutshell. And then a friend of mine, he had a gift for me. So he told me, I'm going to be there if you come. I have a gift for you. Don't go. And so he gave me this gift. I come home. I'm done with the night and all of the amazing synchronicities and stuff that's happened to me during the day. And I open my gift, and it's a book about crocheting. It has little scissors. It has 4 different kinds of crochets and little yarn to do it. He knows I like stuff made of crochet. And I'm like, and that was so thoughtful. And then I started crying, like overwhelmed. And it wasn't because of the gift or him. It was just
Overwhelmed. Yeah.
like all the love I received during the weekend. We started at the South. I mean, we started at really at your event.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Well,
Jesus
it sounds
showed
like
up.
you started on Wednesday.
That too. And then Friday I went to the salsa social. The girls showed up with champagne, 3 bottles. They showed up with a cake. We danced salsa all night. I gave myself permission to celebrate. I wore a red dress. I've never worn a red dress before. Just a color that was always so sexy and, like very too much for me. And I'm like, I gave myself permission to, and I look amazing in red, by the way. And so I gave myself all of these permissions, but it was just like all of this love from the women, the support of the women. The older I get, the more I understand the importance of having women to support you and to accompany you in your path. And it's just so at the end, opening that gift, the tears it's just me, so full of love, so full of people just showing up, and it had to come out. Just like and the way I explained it was like in the open heart meditations from Dr. Joe, you feel so much love and your heart just sort of explodes, and it has to come out in other ways. And so it comes like tears, like just so much support and love. And so that's what I felt last night. And I'm like, you know what? This is what Tere felt. Everybody showed up. There was a lot of love there. There was a lot of support.
So much love and support.
And so your heart exploded.
Opened. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Open.
Well, so it's kind of interesting because I'm going to go backwards to go forwards. I don't know if we kind of have been talking about this. I've been working on relationships. I've been working on establishing friendships, community, working on all kinds of relationships, right? So also relationships with family. Here we are. So there's on the day before the book launch, I had this kind of friction moment with a close friend, and it really highlighted a relationship dynamic that I was not aware of. So let me preface it with, I've been focusing on uncovering relationship dynamics. We've talked on the podcast how I feel loyal to my parents' way of relating and their relationship lineage and how they modeled the relationship and staying within the confines of how they related. And I've obviously been working on that. And since I started kind of doing prayers on it, right? Sometimes in the morning and sometimes at night, or sometimes just at night because I have more time to kind of spend on it, essentially. So I've been working on relationship dynamics and letting go of old dynamics and really looking at that stuff. So when the day before the book launch, I had the tiniest little friction with a really close friend. And it really kind of triggered me in a way that was really surprising because I haven't been triggered like that for a really long time. And so it being triggered, and obviously I noticed it, I recognized it, I didn't react from it. And so I had to kind of identify, okay, what's going on here? Like what is happening for me? Why is this coming up? And it wasn't anything that she did or didn't say, and it wasn't anything big, and it was just, I experienced being really triggered and feeling like, oh, I'm going to lose this friend. And we've talked about how I've had proper friendship breakups before. So I thought, okay, so is this over? And it didn't really have external grounding, like it didn't have any like, oh, I'm worried that this is over because X happened. It wasn't even that reasonable or logical. It was just this fear came up of, oh, am I losing this person for nothing, essentially. And we weren't able to connect the day before the launch, which is when the thing happened. The day of the launch, I kind of didn't hear from her at all. And then I saw her there because she went.
Nice.
And I was like, oh my God. And then, that was overwhelming on top of overwhelming for the thing.
The event.
And let me go into the event and then I'll close it with what happened after with my friend. So it was so heart opening because I don't know if you noticed that there were people on Zoom as well.
I did.
Yeah.
Did you know that Paola was one of them and she fell asleep?
Yeah, I gave her the recording.
She's like, there was a Zoom, but I think I fell asleep.
No, I think I fell asleep.
Yeah.
No, you 1000% fell asleep. It was also like the middle of the night in Ireland.
Yeah.
My old friends from home were there. Friends from college were there. It was just wild.
How many people were on Zoom?
I have no idea.
That's great.
I have no idea.
So my speech is on Zoom?
Yeah, it is.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember sort of what I said. It just whatever came out.
And it was really, really nice to put out, my work and signing it and putting my name on it. And now people are reading it. It's so weird to feel people reading my words because I'm getting feedback that, oh, it feels like I'm reading your diary. And I was like, okay, don't tell anyone. I told that to someone. Someone was like, hey, I feel like I'm reading your diary. And I was like, yes, shh, keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, because that's how that felt for me as well. And that's why I was like, family's gonna read it.
I don't think people are gonna. I don't think my family's gonna read it. I think lots and lots of other people could read it and will read it and probably will find it great. But I don't think my family's gonna read it. No,
I read it. You have two nieces that are reading it, or one read it already.
I feel like the people that were interested in reading it came to the event or tried to come to the event. How about that?
Yeah.
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 To close on the dynamic with my friend, I met up with her the day before, and I was like, listen, this is what happened. I got hella triggered. It's not anything you did or didn't do. It's not something you can prevent. It's a relationship pattern that is happening for me that you specifically trigger. And we talked about like we talked about the thing that came, the tiny friction point that came up that was like a real world thing, a real life thing. And then we talked, and then I was able to share the tapping into like my abandonment wounds. And then as I was talking to her, more came up after that, after us having lunch and coffee together. I was kind of analyzing it a bit more and really understanding how underneath I have this idea that relationships are transactional, and that was unconscious. And so there's nothing that she needs from me or something like that. Not or something like that, exactly that. Because there's nothing she needs from me, I feel like she's gonna leave. That's the pattern.
Okay, so there's nothing she needs from you, but she's choosing for you to be in her life, which means you have to show up as authentically you. Just be you. And at times that means a version of yourself, like fully version of yourself, fully healed version of yourself. And so at times that's a big order and a tall order, because it's easier to be like, oh, you need me for financial support. You need me for the, oh, hey, here, this is easy. But when somebody doesn't need you financially, they don't need a roof over your head. You don't need to place a roof. You don't need to do all of these things, but they're choosing you for everything, for that person in their corner. They're choosing you for being that special someone, or a friend, whatever they're choosing you for. They're choosing you, you're through you, and you're authentic you. And that means you have to show up as you, not just this, and then that means sometimes you're gonna get certain things, like you got triggered by that, like, okay, if you don't need me.
Hella triggered.
And so it's just like, it's wow. So
yeah.
And then it became a conversation. These conversations that are meant to make you, if it's meant to be a true friendship and whatnot, it's not meant to split you or create more chaos. In fact, it's supposed to make you grow as friends.
Yeah.
And so I hope that was the outcome for you.
Yes. So it was so weird. First of all, the day before the launch, I was so weird about it. Like, why am I getting so upset about nothing? I feel like this is nothing. This should be nothing. And I'm all upset about it. And then when I saw her, I just fucking lost it. I lost my shit. And then I kept losing it.
Yeah.
But then when we had the conversation, I also lost my shit. So we were in the middle of a cafe and I was okay. And I was telling her, this is I'm trying to figure this out. This is what's happening for me. And she kind of, was trying to reassure me and saying, I'm not going to abandon you.
Yeah. And I'm not, and that's a true friend. Like, I'm not going to go anywhere. Like, I'm here. You're in the mud. I'm here with you in the mud. Let's go. What are you working on? And that, in that sense, is like you're giving her the opportunity to show up for you. And that's amazing when a friend can do that, when a friend can say, it's not about what you give or whatnot, but it's about when you need it, when you need help, when you need understanding, when you need kindness, when you need all of these things. And you say, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's happening inside of me. And they just go like, I'm here. Those people, those are those people in your corner, the true people that are supporting you and that are there for you. That's it. That's your tribe.
It was hella uncomfortable when she was saying that. I think she said it twice. and twice was a lot for her to say, I think. And I was like, she's like, I'm not gonna abandon you. And so we also had a conversation of, I don't apologize. So after all of this, and I'm bawling, I'm telling her my internal relationship dynamic that she triggers, and this and that, and taking responsibility for something I actually did, and saying, okay, I actually did that, and I did this to follow up, and all of this stuff, and I'm like, I don't apologize. And she went, what? Wait. And I said, well, we've been talking for I don't know how long. Did you want an apology? She's like, that's not the point. And then she went into her experience of what apologizing is, which actually shifted my mind about apologizing.
Right, because
and I apologized.
Good, because because now it's like the flow of things. There's things for you. Apologizing is words, actions are what matter, right? For my mom, her actions matter. She doesn't have to tell you she loves you, right? No, but wouldn't you have loved to hear her say, "I love you"?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay,
wouldn't that be nice?
Okay, so for some people, the act of apologizing and following with action, that's the fucking magic. Because you can say, I'm sorry, and it's just, it becomes this, right? And there's people like, look, I'm sorry, these are the actions I'm going to take. This is a course correction I'm doing. Or else you stuck doing the same thing over and over and over. I'm sorry, and nothing happens. Okay, so
she was able to kind of actually put to words something that made sense, which is you're meeting the moment where the moment is. So, for example, if you use the example of like hitting someone with a car, which I don't think, sorry, whatever.
Sorry.
If you hit someone and you're only seeing that person for that moment, you're meeting the moment where the moment's at. And I was like, fair. And I was kind of chewing the information. And then I'm like, I'm sorry. And she's like, it's okay.
Oh, so what an amazing day too, because what just happened requires courage to meet yourself, to look at the reflection you're getting from people in your life are mirrors to you. They're reflecting what you need to work on. They're going to trigger you. And you meeting it with like, okay, why am I triggered? Okay, what do I need to do? And you're sitting with it and you're like taking action, not running away from it, not pretending it didn't happen, just facing up and saying, how do I make this better? How do I change this in me? What you're reflecting, I know I need to work on. This is where I am at. And then you have a friend, like a true friend, that doesn't say, you know what, screw you. I'm sensitive about this. You did. You were met with a friend that's a true friend. And true friends will be like, you're in the mud, I'm going to sit next to you. You're here, let's go. What can I do? And it's just a flow of things.
I'm not sure I would have done that with that many people.
But there will be people that you will do that for.
Yeah.
And here we go.
A very short list.
You say sorry to a person that you would have normally not. You would assume like, oh, she knows me. Like mom assumes we know she loves us, But
I know she loves me because I feel it with her actions.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So you met someone that showed you like, hey, this is great for you, but for me, this is what that means. This is what my life was like when somebody apologized to me. This is what the feelings and so on and so forth. And there's this understanding. And so you to understand and connect with her. And that's magical.
Yeah. So lots of things have shifted for me.
I see.
2026.
So here's 2026.
Lots of things have shifted. I feel
Thank you,
a
Neptune.
Totally different. Yeah. Neptune.
Yeah, thank you, Neptune. Did I say it right now?
Yeah. So another big shift is, well, really a big shift. Saturn moves every 2.5 years. Saturn is moving into Aries as well. So we'll have Neptune and Saturn in Aries for the next 2.5 years.
Cool. What does that mean for you?
They're meeting at the 0 degree point. They've already met at the 0 degree point in February.
Cool.
So what does it mean? Well, Saturn is the teacher and the teacher's on fire. It means, yeah, you're
I
needing
I feel like I'm on fire.
Yeah.
This girl is up. Yeah. With all the warm stuff, like, the people sensing that I'm like, oh, you feel warm. And it's funny. My friend, when he's dancing, he's like, do you have a fever? And I'm like, what? No. It's like, you're warm. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not even hot. This is the second time I danced today. So I'm on fire.
Amazing.
Thank you, Saturn.
So, so what it means personally, it's getting out of my relationship house. Everything, they're getting out of my relationship house, which I'm excited about, even though I've learned a lot, whatever. They just need to go to a different area of my life, and I could learn a lot in a different area of my life.
Okay.
So there's been a big shift. I feel it. I think it's time to take some action. I can feel that a lot more. And we've been kind of doing that, right? Yeah. We're coming to on almost a year of the podcast. I feel like we should contemplate that at some point. But then it's about having the idea and then just doing it, like this podcast.
Right. We're on fire. Also, we're going to bring in guests, and I'm excited about that.
Are you letting that out already? Come on.
Why not?
It could have been a surprise.
We're opening it up. I mean, we're working on it. Let's put it that way. And it will be a surprise anyway.
It's going to be a surprise. Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
Regardless.
I'm looking forward to it. I think, like you said, we have our table, and we're inviting people in to the conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm feeling all of these changes. Okay, you giving, Saturn and Neptune, you giving them the credit. I take credit on my own for everything that's happening in my life.
It's all reflected out, inside, outside. It's all the same. It's the same mirror. I mean, it's not that I'm giving them credit. It's just that they're reflecting what I'm doing. It's same.
I'm definitely feeling a big shift of things just happening and coming up at me, and my women's circle is growing. Already have, women. Like this weekend alone, I have like 3 women that are interested in coming, and that to me, that's like, wow, that's awesome. This is me, just they coming to me because they heard of it. And so to me, that's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, universe. So I start my mornings with being grateful from the gifts I've received the day prior and for the gifts I'm getting as the day goes on. That routine of being grateful before bed and in the morning, it's amazing.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Okay, so this is what we have for you with the shift this week. And we'll be back.
See you next week. Not
with
see
your
you,
permission.
Hear you. With
hear
your permission.
you.
Oh, no, you hear us. Bye.
Bye. And that is all we have for you this week.
Make sure you follow Permission to Podcast.
And we'll be back next week with your permission.